Your world is collapsing. The diagnosis is bad. The business failed. The loss is unbearable. In the rubble of your peace, two ancient voices echo through the dust. One belongs to a Roman emperor, riding alone in his war tent, surrounded by plague and battle, Marcus Aurelius. The other belongs to a blameless man whose entire world burns down in a single day, Job. One offers a philosophy of iron self-mastery. The other offers a story of anguish and faith. So when your life falls apart, who actually holds the key to getting through hell? Welcome to Maven Mindset Lab, where we don't just compare ideas, we fuse them. Today, we're merging a Stoic and a Saint to build the ultimate framework for surviving suffering. Chapter 1: Two Manuals for Hell. Let's meet our guides. First, Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, yet a prisoner of his own duty, writing meditations in the midst of war. These were not meant for public eyes. They were a soldier's pep talks to himself. His philosophy? Suffering is not what happens to you, but how you judge it. Inside you is a citadel no chaos can breach if you guard it. The Stoic strategy: internal fortification. Now enter Job, a righteous man, blindsided by cosmic disaster. His children die, his wealth vanishes, his skin rots with sores. His first reaction? He tears his robe, shaves his head, falls to the ground, and worships. But then the storm breaks. For 37 chapters, he wrestles with God. He cries, he curses, he demands an explanation. Job's method is not control, it's confrontation. He doesn't fortify himself against heaven, he argues with it. Two manuals, two ways through hell. One says, look inward and master your mind. The other says, look upward and demand meaning. Chapter 2: The Blind Spots, where each path breaks. No system is flawless. Push either too far, and you fall off the edge. Stoicism's trap is the emotional robot. If everything must be accepted without judgment, you risk disconnecting from your humanity. You don't grieve, you analyze. You don't cry, you calculate. But when your child is sick, is the goal to simply note the event or to love through the pain? Job's trap is the swamp of despair. When every pain becomes a plea of, "Why me?" you risk drowning in questions that never end. You wait for meaning instead of making movement. You stop living in the name of lament. One path risks numbness, the other risks drowning. So how do you walk between them? Chapter 3: The Suffering Algorithm, merging Job and Marcus. Here's where the fusion happens. They are not rivals, they are a sequence. This is the suffering algorithm. Step 1: do the Job work. Before you can be stoic, you must be human. Feel it, rage, weep. You cannot control an emotion you refuse to feel. Job gives you permission to break down, because healing begins in honesty. Step 2: apply the Marcus framework. Once the storm inside you settles, shift from survival to strategy. Now you use the Stoic tools, not to suppress emotion, but to stabilize it. Negative visualization. Marcus said, think of yourself as dead. It's not morbid, it's gratitude training. Job was forced to lose everything. You can choose to imagine it, to treasure what's still here. Dichotomy of control. You have power over your mind, not external events. You can't change the diagnosis, but you can control how you live the days left. Amor fati, love of fate. A blazing fire makes blame and brightness out of everything thrown into it. Job eventually reaches this too, not through logic, but encounter. He meets God, not as theory, but as presence, and he says, "My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you." So, how does this look in your life? Let's say you face a devastating financial collapse. The Job phase. Let yourself break. Say it out loud. I'm scared. I don't know how I'll recover. This isn't weakness, it's truth processing. The Marcus phase. Then sit down. Write 2 columns. What I can control versus what I can't. You can control your spending, your effort, your response. You cannot control the past, the market, or what others decide. Pour your focus only into the first list. You're not numbing yourself, you're rebuilding yourself. Lament like Job, then act like Aurelius. That's the formula. Final takeaway. Don't see Job and Marcus as opposites. See them as a rhythm for resilience. 1. First, be Job. Feel deeply. Let grief wash through. 2. Then, be Marcus. Stand tall and take command of your response. Job reminds us some pain is too vast for tidy answers. Marcus reminds us our response is the one thing that can't be taken. Together, they form a loop. Sorrow, strength, surrender, growth. They don't just help you survive suffering, they help you forge meaning from it. If this fusion of ancient wisdom helped you reframe your struggles, you're in the right lab. Subscribe to Maven Mindset Lab, where philosophy meets faith and knowledge becomes transformation. Now I'll leave you with this. What's one moment in your life when you needed the patience of Job and the resolve of Marcus Aurelius? Drop it in the comments. And remember, the goal isn't to avoid the storm. It's to learn to dance in the rain, and sometimes to shout back at the thunder.